So this is number 12 of our series in First John of discussion starters, and I hope you've been blessed at least a little bit in this series of discussion starters. A little different than the James study that we did before this. Would like to ask you a little bit and have you reflect on those things that in your life, for one reason or another, you're sort of on the fence. You aren't fully committed, but you're sort of committed, and maybe your Christian life is one of those things. As John begins to finish this letter, he starts in verse 13 of chapter 5 and says, I write these things to you who believe in the name of the Son of God, so that you may know that you have eternal life. One of the things that we want to be certain of is that we have eternal life through the Son, Jesus Christ. That is one of those things that we can't be on the fence about. We really need to dedicate our life to Jesus. 14 says, this is the confidence we have approaching God, that if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. It's not that we manipulate God, but that when we have need, we can truly approach the Father with those needs. Then he moves a little deeper. In verse 16, if anyone sees his brother commit a sin that does not lead to death, he should pray, and God will give him life. The first part has to do with who we are. Knowing the Father understands our need, and we're willing to come to the Father first for those needs to be answered. The second has to do with we see the needs in someone else, and we take those needs to the Father as well. The third is, and we know that anyone born of God does not continue to sin. And John has come back to this theme several times. The one who is born of God keeps him safe, and the evil one cannot harm him. And we know that we are children of God, and the whole world is under the control of the evil one. It's the sort of the in here and the out there. So as you think about the gospel, this epistle of John, and what he's given to us, I think we sort of have to think that John's wanting to gather the people in and keep them safe. It's probably the nature of John because he talks so much about loving one another, and that love is of God. Love is a theme of not only the epistles that he writes, but also his gospel. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. That's part of it. So John's trying to gather us in. And as he finishes this letter, he's trying to gather his people in and say, you're in or you're out. I think a lot of times in our life, we sort of like to play it open. We don't want to be closed in. Like some people think that living a Christian life is boring, dull. It really isn't. We can't be on the fence. So one of your discussion starters that I see in this passage is, are you fully on this side with Jesus or on that side? That's the first piece, is our personal relationship to Jesus. The second is, if I am fully on this side with Jesus, do I see my brother over there in need of help and prayer? And are we as willing to engage the other person in prayer on their behalf? The third piece is, John's saying that we are saved, we're kept from the world of sin. Are you willing to stay on this side of the fence, safe with Jesus, or do you hop the fence once in a while for the entertainment value? In these days, and as we finish this series, I hope you've taken some time to think about it.